How are you? Thanks. So I got my wisdom teeth out. I had all four surgically removed, and at the time, I was dating a woman that had her own business, and getting my wisdom teeth out, I had to have somebody drive me and also sign in agreeing that they were going to drive me home. And so my ex did not want to take any time off of work to drive me back. She would drive me there. That was the plan. She said, I'll drive you there. I will sign you in, but then I'm going to leave. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. I was 24, and somebody was basically just saying, I'm going to leave you for dead. And I was like, totally fine with me. So she signs me in, she takes off, and then I get put under, and they take out my wisdom teeth. And when they rolled my gurney in to my room where I was supposed to rest, they moved me from the gurney to the hospital bed. And in that move, I woke up and remembered that I did not have a ride home. I was like, okay, I gotta escape. So I concocted this plan that just basically meant I was gonna hop up off the bed and run out of the hospital. And I was so drugged, like I had just been under, like basically dead. So I was running through the halls of the hospital all crooked, and got out to my car. I was like, I only lived like a couple of miles from the hospital, but it was a major situation. And so I get into my car, I start it up, I drive off, and I get to the first stop traffic light, and I was awoken when I rear-ended the car in front of me. I mean, how long could the light have been? 30 seconds, I don't know, but I was so relaxed and my foot just slid off the brake. And then I gently tapped the car in front of me. And then he got out and came up to my window and he was like, what's going on? I was just like, yeah, sorry about that. And he was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. Totally fine. I drive off. I get home. And I lived in this 3-story Victorian house. And I lived in the attic. And my 2 closest friends that I grew up with and had moved all around the country with lived in the apartment below me. And when I pulled up, I saw my friend Leslie's car parked there. It's like, oh, good, Leslie's home. And the medication, it was starting to wear off. And I needed to get back to the hospital. So I had 4 gaping holes in my mouth. So I went up on Beth and Leslie's deck, and they had this glass door. Again, I saw Leslie's car parked there, the glass door, and then they had this curtain covering the glass with like this little bit at the bottom where you could see into their house. And I was banging on the door. I was like, Leslie! No response. And I'm so drugged that I start to make up in my mind that she's in there and she does not want to help me. So then I'm lying on the patio, peeking through that window, just lying on the patio, just banging, Leslie! Just like, come on. Like, she didn't know what was going on because I was too embarrassed to tell my friends that my ex didn't want to take the day off to, because they'd be like, why didn't she? And I'm like, eh. So I'm banging. I've created in my head, shouldn't want to help me out. So I go down the steps of the patio, down to the first floor. I go around to the front of the house. And I think if she is home and she just didn't hear me, I'm going to start yelling up to the front of the house. So when I came around, there was this woman lying on why is my vocabulary so limited? Not a hammock. Any other guesses? Not a sofa. No. Should I just end the story here? I should have learned these words first. Okay, like you lie in them to get sun. Lounge chair, that's all I was looking for. Don't look at me like that. She was like, lounge chair. Call it whatever you want. We could even say it was a hammock. It doesn't matter. We could say she was sitting on a tree trunk. She was lying there, sunbathing. So I came around, and when she saw me come around, she was like, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I just, do you know Leslie and Beth? And she was just, no. Okay, my friends Leslie and Beth live on the second floor, and they're not answering their door, and I need a ride to the hospital. Have you seen them? And she was like, no. She felt very, I think, vulnerable lying there in her bikini, and she was clearly a new neighbor because the people in the basement had moved out, and that's what I added up. This is our new neighbor. So I was like, okay. So I go back around, just one more attempt. Go back up to what are it's like, it's made of wood. It is a porch. What was the other guess, though? Deck. I like that, too. You really need to drop your attitude. Yeah, you. You with the bad attitude needs to be dropped. So I go over to the wooden You know what? I'm not going to be treated like this. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's clear that I am going to be treated this way. I went up to the... Now I'm being treated really bad. It wasn't that. It was the deck / porch / you know what it was. I went back up there. When I went up to the deck, it was a horrifying sight. There was blood trailing all the way to Beth and Leslie's door. I'm not stupid. I'm horrified now. And I'm like, with more energy, Leslie! Leslie! Somebody has killed Leslie. And I think she has plotted against me, and now I'm feeling bad because I didn't even notice this trail of blood that is my friend. So I'm banging on the door The door opens. This time the door opens. Leslie opens the door, and she's like, oh my God! And I was like, Leslie! You guys, I didn't know it. You're not going to believe whose blood that was on that wooden area. That was my blood. I had trailed that blood on their porch. And so Leslie, she didn't know I had my wisdom teeth out. So she opens her door, sees, not only am I bleeding, but my lip is numb. I'm like, my whole mouth is numb. And I'm supposed to be asleep still. I'm supposed to be lying in a hospital bed. But I've driven in a moving, one of those four-wheel, I was in a car driving through town with 4 bloody, gaping holes in my mouth. Get there. I thought Leslie was dead. I don't know what she thought was going on with me. I actually never asked her. But I still feel horribly for the woman that was sunbathing. I mean, at least the guy that I had rear-ended was at least like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. What could possibly be the problem? Can't somebody nap in between traffic lights? There was no damage done to his car, so I was kind of like, what is your problem? But I appreciated that he was like, are you okay? Whereas the woman sunbathing, no question, just a person with blood pouring out of their mouth and down their shirt comes around the corner. And I was like, hi, I'm trying to get to the hospital. And she's like, yeah, I haven't seen Leslie. You guys, that is my story for you. Thank you so much. Good night.